Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news folks, there's a lot to unpack here, and if you're as passionate about the Steelers as I am, then you know how crucial every move, every decision, can be as we approach the critical moments of this NFL season. The Steelers, as we all know, have been navigating a roller coaster of ups and downs, but recent developments suggest that they're trying to find some stability, especially on the defensive side, while also trying to tighten up on offense. And the latest news, believe it or not, involves some strategic roster moves that could have significant implications for the game this weekend and beyond. Let's start with the fact that the Steelers have added veteran running back Trey Surman to their active roster. Now, this isn't just a random move. Surman, at 26 years old, has accumulated quite a bit of experience over the past 4 NFL seasons. He's been part of 3 different teams, including the San Francisco 49ers, where he was a third-round pick in 2021. Since then, Surman has appeared in an impressive 46 games, logging a total of 505 rushing yards. That might not sound like a massive number, but it's significant considering his role, mainly as a rotational back and special teams contributor. And that's exactly what the Steelers are probably looking for right now, someone who can step in, provide depth, and contribute on special teams, which, as we all know, can be a game-changer in close matchups. Now, the timing of Surman's signing is quite telling. The Steelers promoted him from the practice squad after the preseason ended, which suggests they might be concerned about their depth at running back, especially with rookie Caleb Johnson. Johnson, the third-round pick in April, has yet to make a real impact on offense. Through 2 games, he's only played 4 offensive snaps, which is quite limited when you consider the workload of a typical NFL running back. Most importantly, Johnson has been playing on special teams, specifically kickoff return, but unfortunately, last week against the Seahawks, he made a costly mistake. He failed to cover a kickoff properly, allowing Seattle to recover it for a touchdown. That's a play no coach wants to see, especially from a rookie trying to earn his spot on the roster. And it's no surprise that head coach Mike Tomlin has already said Johnson will be taken off kick return duties, at least temporarily, to prevent further mistakes and to give him some time to focus on his development. This move to bring in Surman, then, could be an indicator that the Steelers are already preparing for the possibility that Johnson might not be ready for prime time just yet, or they're simply seeking more veteran experience in their backfield. It's a smart move, given that Surman has been on the field quite a bit in his career and has experience in situations just like this. He's played on special teams, contributed on coverage and return teams, and shown flashes of potential when given the chance. And with only 505 rushing yards in his career so far, he's still looking to establish himself as a consistent contributor, but the Steelers likely see him as someone who can help right now, especially in a season where every game counts. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the defensive side, which is always a highlight for Steelers fans. The recent injury report is shaping up to be somewhat of a blessing in disguise for the Steelers' defense, at least temporarily. They have dodged a big bullet in the form of Christian Gonzalez, the Patriots' top cornerback, who has been ruled out of this weekend's game because of a hamstring injury. Gonzalez, a first-round pick in 2022, was expected to be a key player in the Patriots' secondary this season, but his injury has kept him from making his debut so far. For the Steelers, this is a bit of a break, especially considering that last week against the Seahawks, they also avoided facing Seattle's CB1, Devin Witherspoon, who is a top-tier talent and a Pro Bowler in just his 2nd NFL season. Witherspoon's absence last week certainly played a role in limiting DK Metcalf's production. Metcalf, who is known for his physicality and ability to stretch the field, only managed 3 catches for 20 yards and scored a touchdown, but he didn't have the game-breaking impact we've seen from him in the past. The Steelers' secondary has been tested early in the season, but the absence of Gonzalez and Witherspoon, at least temporarily, gives them some breathing room. It allows Alex Austin, a third-year pro, to step up into a larger role. Austin has been playing more at outside cornerback in Gonzalez's stead, and while he's not yet a household name, he's shown signs of being a reliable presence. It's a perfect opportunity for him to prove that he can hold his own against some of the league's top receivers. And this brings us to an important point. The Steelers' pass defense, which was somewhat under the radar last season, has been solid so far. They're allowing just 14 catches from opposing wide receivers through 2 games, which is an impressive stat. Half of those catches came from DK Metcalf, but even with that, the Steelers' defense looks disciplined and well-coordinated. The key for them moving forward will be maintaining that level of consistency, especially now that they're missing some key players in the secondary. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, has always been adept at adjusting on the fly, and this season is no different. Their ability to adapt, especially in the early weeks, can make all the difference in pushing for a playoff spot, and hopefully, another deep postseason run. Now, circling back to the offense, or rather, the challenges it's been facing, there's a noticeable drop in production from the wide receiver core. Through 2 games, the Steelers' wide receivers have only been involved in 14 catches, which is quite low. DK Metcalf, as mentioned, has contributed significantly, but the overall reception count shows that the offense is still trying to find its rhythm. That's partly due to the struggles of the offensive line, which is still adjusting to new personnel and schemes, and partly because of the inconsistency at quarterback. But the good news is that the Steelers have a versatile attack that can adapt, and the addition of players like Surman could help spark their ground game, which has been somewhat stagnant so far. The running game, in particular, has been a mixed bag. Rookie Caleb Johnson was supposed to be a key piece, but his costly mistake last week puts a question mark over his early contributions. The coaching staff's decision to take him off kick return duties is a clear signal that they want to give him more time to develop and reduce the risk of further mistakes. Meanwhile, veteran Trey Surman is now on the roster and ready to step in if needed, bringing a steady hand and some experience in the backfield. The Steelers have always valued a balanced attack, and they know that establishing the run can open up the passing game and help their offense become more explosive. Looking at the big picture, the Steelers' season so far has been a mixture of promising signs and some areas that need improvement. Their defense, despite some injuries, continues to be a strength, and their special teams, while experiencing some hiccups, still hold potential. The offense, on the other hand, is in a phase of adjustment, trying to find consistency among the receivers, the quarterback, and the offensive line. The addition of Surman might be just what they need to add some punch to the running game and provide depth during a critical stretch of games. Now, let's talk about the upcoming game and what it means for the Steelers. Facing the Patriots, a team that's been dealing with its own issues, especially in the secondary with Christian Gonzalez out, presents an interesting matchup. The Patriots' defense has been solid in parts, but their secondary has been vulnerable at times, especially without Gonzalez. The Steelers will look to exploit this, especially if they can establish a running game early and keep the Patriots' pass rush honest. The key will be for the offensive line to step up and protect the quarterback, while the receivers, including DK Metcalf, can continue to make plays after the catch. On defense, containing the Patriots' offense and forcing turnovers will be crucial, especially considering the injury concerns around their top cornerbacks. And as always, Steelers fans, we need to keep in mind that every game is a new chapter. The team has shown resilience, and with the roster moves they've made, it's clear they're focused on winning now while building for the future. The addition of Trey Surman is a smart, strategic move, and the focus on developing younger players like Caleb Johnson shows that the Steelers are planning ahead, even as they fight for every win this season. The division remains fierce, with the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns all competing at high levels, but the Steelers have always been a team that's capable of rising to the occasion. Their defense, their coaching staff, and now their roster depth give them the tools they need to stay competitive. So as we look toward the weekend's matchup, remember that this season is far from over, and every play, every drive, and every game counts. The Steelers are in a position to make some noise, especially if their key players stay healthy and continue to improve. And with the recent roster move adding Surman, it's a statement that they're not just planning to get by, they're planning to push hard, adapt on the fly, and fight for every inch on the field. The AFC North is always unpredictable, but if there's one thing Steelers fans can be sure of, it's that this team has the heart, the talent, and the leadership to make a run. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on these roster moves? How do you see Surman fitting into the team's plans moving forward? Do you think the defense will continue to hold strong with some of the injuries they've faced? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this team is built on passion, resilience, and a never-give-up attitude, qualities that have defined the Steelers for decades. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's go Steelers!